So, I know that there's like a million questions, Mara, in the interest of time, we're only going to take 2 questions per region. Whoa! I think we've got Pretoria first. Team? All right, Pretoria, if you are watching, can you just wave? James, can you see us? Can you wave? Boom. How's it, guys? All right, we've got a question from Sabelo, who's sitting in your audience for the minister. It says, what kind of programs is the new ministry going to implement that haven't already been implemented by many other business-focused ministries? So that's question 1. Can I get question 2 from Pretoria, guys? Or can I skip them? All right, so I think we can answer Pretoria whilst we source from Durban.
Well, how we're going to be different is simply that we have realized that there's opportunities even within government itself. So we're going to go into partnership with the different departments for starters. Each and every department of the government department has got something for small and medium enterprises. What has been happening is that those opportunities that are existing in government, they end up being taken by bigger people. Now, what we want to do is to break it down. Make an example. The government has said that it's going to focus on infrastructure development. We need to say to each and every department, including those ones that are going to be doing the infrastructure development, talk to us. What have you got for small and medium enterprises? And if they don't have anything for small and medium enterprises, we need to engage with them to say you will have something for small and medium enterprises. But then the other side of it is government would have those opportunities, but small and medium enterprises would say the quality that is needed of the product that needs to be delivered. Bureau of Standards is saying it must be like this. So we have decided that we must go out there and speak to the Bureau of Standards. We don't want to reduce the standard because you cannot reduce the standard. However, you need to be conscious of the fact that many of the small and medium enterprises need to be assisted so that then they can be able to meet that standard, first and foremost. Secondly, as I said earlier, we're going to look at the regulatory environment because the regulatory environment that we have is many, many acts that we have. We want to make it easy for small and medium enterprises and people who are starting. We want to make sure that we can have what Gauteng has, for instance. It's small, it can grow bigger. We want to make sure that people don't struggle so much to register their companies. We want to make it easy and make it short. So the one-stop shops that we are thinking about is a place like in Rwanda. You know, in Rwanda, imagine in Rwanda, they say that when you're starting a business, you go to one place, you spend 1 day, you come in this door, you go throughout there. By the time you end that door, you've registered your company, you've registered your tax, you've had even some form of motivating you as to how you can do your business. This is what is missing in South Africa. Thirdly, we also want to communicate. We want to bring down the communication down to everybody, because what is now happening is that people think there's DTI, there's CEDA offices. We need to go to those offices because I believe my ministry is not a ministry that's going to sit in Pretoria forever. If we need to assist people, we need to get down. That is why from the time that we have been in office already, we've done a few outreach programs. But we've also realized that in those outreach programs, you can't bring everybody into a hall like this and expect that everybody is going to get their attention. We now need to look at another way of having smaller groups to make sure that people are assisted. Lastly, which I think is very important, South Africa has got a lot of infrastructure. I was in Bushbuckridge about 3 weeks ago. I found an infrastructure that is almost falling apart. It's a very good infrastructure for FET College. It's not being used. And then I thought to myself, Now, small and medium enterprises and the incubation programs and the holding hand, this is where it can happen. If we can get people that are in business already, bring these people into the space like that, make that space look good, bring people to share with those in the community who do not have the facts. Take the information down to the people. The programs that we have, we will review them. Because my belief is that those programs have been there, but it's clear that they have not been reaching out as much as they are supposed to be. So we'll rationalize those programs, make them few, but pick up on the ones that we know that are needed most, because there's a lot of money that is there. A lot of money is being spent there, but that money cannot continue being spent when you don't see the effect of that. That's going to be the difference.
Last question from Pretoria comes from Sapo. Sapo says, which is the fastest growing space to get involved in from a micro business perspective?
Well, you see, that entrepreneur should be answering that question. That entrepreneur should be telling me, as the new minister, he should be saying to me, Minister, I have identified the following niche. Okay, let me make a small example. I was brought up by a grandmother like everybody else in my time. I was brought up by a grandmother that graduated from being a domestic worker into a hawker. Graduated from being a hawker into a small business person. All I can remember growing up was a singer machine that used to sit there, and I remember the sound of it, even in the night, when my grandmother decided there's no way I can feed these kids unless I do something else. She found a niche. Everybody was selling his shwe and everything. She looked around and she thought, there's no woman who leaves the house without a petticoat. And she started making those petticoats. And she was the only person in the area who was making them. Now, that one who's asking the question, I want him to tell me, what has he seen? Can that be? I want him to come to me and say, Minister, I found it, and I just need you to find the people to support me in what I'm doing.
Sapo, opportunity, Papa.